Hi everybody. So yeah, I'm gonna head out here in a minute, but before I do, I've been covering some really heavy topics lately. We're having flash flood warnings here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've been running anywhere from 113 to 116, and this is supposed to be such a bad flash flood that we're supposed to go down to 98. This girl is happy. Happy. So I hope you can hear me better. I went back to my old mic. I will be ordering a new mic on payday. So hopefully I won't get a bug up my butt to do any more videos until then. But I do know for a fact that y'all can hear me off of this mic. So, you know, the other day I did 10 things. 10 things. I think I did more or less. But anyway, things that make you happy, but society looks down on, right? So, what I'm going to do today is, after I did that video, I thought, what about peeves? What are pet peeves? Pet peeves can actually be funny, or they could be something that gripes your ass so bad that you scream and cuss, stomp your feet. I have a few pet peeves. I think number one that I'm fixing to share here is my absolute biggest pet peeve. Okay, now when I'm done, I will list these in the description down there. But I would like you, if you want to play along, list some of your pet peeves in comments. Okay? And play along with this. Okay, so 10 pet peeves. Oh, my earring. Hold on, people. There we go. Okay, 10 pet peeves. My first pet peeve, and has been my pet peeve since my grandmother slapped me for it when I was about 10, is backwards toilet paper. Okay, I know you're asking, what is backwards? Well, not only at 10 years old did my grandmother, who was a professional janitor for Honeywell, I ended up cleaning hotel rooms for a while as a young woman. Backwards toilet paper is when the toilet paper comes off the roll against the wall. I know this sounds ridiculous, people, but follow me here. If a toilet paper is coming off the front of the roll, you can simply pull it. If it's coming off the back of the wall, you have to reach up under and get it. So I have to say, my biggest pet peeve, and I was absolutely on the radio years ago when I was working at Excalibur, because one of the radio stations in Vegas was doing, what is your pet peeve? Well, my pet peeve, this one, made it on the air as the funniest pet peeve ever. So backwards toilet paper is my number one pet peeve. I think I got mustard right there. I had sausage and mustard. It was so good. My second one is just about as irritating. I usually call it a gray hair alert. You know, but it's not solely the gray hair alert people that do this. My pet peeve is when you're cruising down the road in, say, a 45-mile-an-hour zone, and you're doing 45, and somebody is in such a hurry to get out in front of you that they just pull out. Okay? Now, not only do they pull out, but once they're out there, do they actually step on the gas and go and attempt to make it to 45 miles an hour? No. They pull out in front of you and do 5-10 miles an hour. Or they will go 5 miles an hour. Now this is the gray hair alerts. They'll go 5 miles an hour in your lane to get over into the middle lane, to get into the fast lane, to go 5 miles an hour. So my second pet peeve is somebody pulling out in front of me in an almighty God hurry just to go 5 miles an hour. My third pet peeve, lazy people. I don't get lazy. I don't get lazy. It just irritates me to death to see somebody who's so lazy that they can't pick up after themselves. They have to come back and do it later. So why not do it good the right time? You know, when I was a young girl, my grandmother one night came home from work, and she worked swing shift, 4 to 12, and us girls, there were girls in the house. There was me, my auntie, and my little sister, all females. Our job was to clean the house while Granny was at work. And if you lived in that house twice a week, my grandmother had cement floors. It was your job to sweep and mop those floors. Now, grandmother liked this done every night. So, you did it every night. So one night, I did my floors. It was my turn. And my grandmother came home and woke me up and said, go get the mop and the broom and the bucket because you did a half-assed job. And I was like, what? And she said, Tami, anytime you have to do something, do the best you can, or else you're going to have to go back and do it a second time. Why waste your time? Do it right the first time. And so, anybody to me who can't do the best that they can the first time is just lazy. I don't get people who don't shower for weeks or months on end. And yes, I know somebody, and I am not shitting you, and I'm not talking my ex. I mean, he'll go a week, but I know somebody who actually went over 5 months without washing her body. When she would go by, you could smell the funk. That's how nasty. But anyway, lazy. That's just lazy. I don't get lazy. I don't understand lazy, and it irritates me. It may not even affect my life, but I don't get lazy people. I don't get laziness. Anyway, on to the next one. Number 5, alarm clocks. Now, I'm old. I don't work anymore, and maybe twice a month I have to set an alarm. But those twice a month times irritate the dog piss out of me. There's nothing worse than being startled from a peaceful sleep than the sound of one of annoying alarms. And you know what? I've tried the soft rain alarms and the pipe music. I have tried every alarm in the world, and I will inevitably wake up in a bad mood every time an alarm startles me out of my sleep. So, and that's probably why I liked working swing shift as a young woman. Well, until I got kids, and then I went with the first one, so I'd be home with him while he was awake. I did graveyard, so I'd be working while he was sleeping. But when the other two came along, I had to do day shift. Yep, I was in a pissy mood every day. Just saying. Okay. My next one, number 6, is somebody telling me the obvious when I can see with my own 2 eyes and think with my own brain. And let me give you an example, friends. Somebody looking at you and going, it's raining outside. Well, duh. No shit, Sherlock. Or that guy just pulled out in front of you. You think so? I mean, there's nothing that is a bigger waste of conversation than telling somebody the obvious. Now, I can't say that I am not guilty of that once in a while. I am, but I have to say, it irritates me to death. So, someone tell me the obvious. Okay, number 6. Unidentified callers who leave no message. Now, Why take a minute to call somebody on the phone, hello, if you're not going to leave a message? I mean, obviously, what you had to say isn't important enough. So why bother calling at all? Nothing gripes my ass worse than an unidentified caller not leaving a message, because I will not answer, and I know a lot of people this way. I will not answer a phone call unless I know who it is. Now, if I get an unidentified caller and they're legit and they leave a message, I'll put their number in my phone so the next time they call, I'll know who it is. But if they don't leave a message, nothing gripes my ass worse. And I have to tell you, a couple weeks ago, I had a person who called 3 times a day in consecutive, within minutes of each other. They'd call, let it ring till it went to voicemail, they'd hang up. They'd call, let it go to voicemail and hang up. 3 times they would do this. Never leaving a message. I blocked them. I don't care who it is. Take the time to be courteous enough to leave a message if you're going to call somebody, right? I mean, how hard is tact? Class? Morals? Common sense? Anyhow, my next pet peeve, which would be number 8, would be getting all, you know how I don't know if you guys have a washer and dryer in your house or not, but I currently don't have one. Miss mine to death, but I currently don't have one. So when I get ready to do laundry, I have to go through the house, find all the laundry, get it ready, get the soap, and then carry a basket of dirty clothes down the row to the laundromat that's here for the residents. Nothing gripes my butt worse than getting all the way down there and not being able to find one washing machine. Not one. People, if you're going to do wash in a laundry room, be considerate. Leave at least one washer for the next person. If you've got tons of laundry, shame on you. You should have washed that stuff up a long time ago. But be courteous. Leave at least one washer. I do. We have 3 washers in our laundry room, and I will only do 2 loads at a time. That way, if somebody comes in behind me, they didn't make a trip for nothing. So anyway, it may sound stupid, but that's my pet peeve. Okay, my next pet peeve, and probably one that I will actually say something to a perfect stranger, is people who will not clean up after their dogs. Come on, folks. Really, are you so lazy that you can't carry a bag? And they could be free if you use the ones from the grocery store. You can get 300 of them for $1 at the 99-cent store. Are you so lazy that you can't pick up after your dog after you have taken the time to take this dog outside? You let your dogs defecate, destroy, and make other people's yards stink. I mean, show some class, people. If that dog had a yard, your yard, and they used your yard to do their business in every day, you would have to get your lazy butt out there and clean it once a week. Unless you're one of those people who prefer to live in dog shit, you still have to pick up after your dog. It's called being a responsible pet owner. If you're going to walk your dog to do their business, carry a bag in your pocket and clean up after that animal. That's your responsibility. When you got that dog, you made that dog a promise, and that was to be there for that dog. And they gave you that dog because they thought you were mature enough to clean up after it. Now let's touch on cats while we're at it. I guess this is a pet peeve. You people who are feeding stray cats, will you stop it already? Stop. Those are feral cats. Those cats can more than fend for themselves. Most of them were born in a dumpster. They know, and their bodies have evolved. Quit feeding strays, because you know what happens? You may feel all good inside for putting that bowl of water and that bowl of food out there, but whose tires do they come and pee on? Whose yards do they dig up to poop in? It's not yours. It's your neighbor's. So do us all a favor. Quit feeding strays. If you're really that concerned in the welfare of a stray cat, take it to the animal shelter so they can get it a home. Amazing, isn't it? That would truly show your compassion and your kindness for an animal. Just saying. I'm passionate about those two those two. Okay. My next one. How's this one? Having an 8 a.m. doctor's appointment, and the lady saying, now you be here by 7:30, quarter till at the latest, and you get there at 7:40 in the morning a.m. because you have an 8 o'clock doctor's appointment, and you sit there until 10:30 to see the doctor. Now, I don't know where these offices get off, these doctor's offices. There was a time that when you made an appointment with the doctor, there was a reason, because you got called around that time. I feel sorry for the people today who work, and they make an 8 o'clock appointment because they have to be to work by 9, and they don't get to see their doctor until 10:30. Not to mention the half hour you're in that room, the 20 minutes it takes the nurse to finish your paperwork, and the 5 minutes to make appointment for the next time. I don't understand how all those peoples in those doctor's office thinks their time is more precious and valuable than our time. So my main pet peeve, one of my biggest when it comes to the healthcare, is the fact that they have no respect, none, when it comes to other people's time or commitments. I had to walk out this one particular day when I had an 8 a.m. I had scheduled another appointment at 11. At 10:30, I still hadn't been called in. I had to walk out. I had to tell them, look, it's been almost 3 hours. I'm due to be someplace else in a half hour. So I really wish the doctors, even though they think they're better than most because they went to college and regurgitated what they were told to, they're no better than we are. They have no right to take up any more of our time than we do theirs. What happens when you're 15 minutes late to your doctor appointment? I'll tell you what happens at my doctor's office. If you are more than 15 minutes late at my doctor's office, they will count you as a no-show and charge you $25. That's right. That's right. But they can make you wait 3 hours. Just saying. Another pet peeve of Tami's. Okay. This may sound like a stupid pet peeve, but one of my biggest pet peeves in the whole world is being cold. I hate it. I hate being cold. I can handle being hot more than I could ever handle being cold. There's nothing worse than having a roommate, lover or not, who has to live in 70-degree temperature. Not only will it add an extra $150 to your electric bill, but you will freeze. There were times this summer and last summer, because of my ex, he would be sitting around in his underwear, 72 degrees in this house, and I'd be wearing a sweatshirt and sweats. I hate being cold. I just do. I don't know how people can live in 70 degrees. I don't get it at all. I just don't get it. So one of my pet peeves is being cold. And if I want to go and be agitated further than that, my little hands and feet always get cold. And when they get cold, I can't get warm. So that's just a part of my body function. And my very last one, and I think this comes up to 12 of them. And if I thought about it, I'd probably find a whole bunch more. Actually, I just thought of another one. I'll let you know. Guys blowing snot rockets. Oh. The thought of it makes me nauseous. You know, where they put their finger aside of their nose, and I'm not talking about old St. Nicholas, and they give it a blow. In my life, I don't understand how a man thinks that's sexy. I don't care if you've been married 20 years. That is disgusting. Nasty. You know what? There's Kleenex. There's toilet paper. There's your shirt, for by God. Don't blow your boogers out in plain people, that's nasty. Let me tell you one of my other and my last pet peeves. But I've only had one person in my life that ever did this to me. And I realized that it really pissed me off. So it is absolutely a pet peeve. And that would be eating and going to the kitchen and washing just your dish and just your fork. You're so lazy that you won't run a sink full of water and wash all the dishes. And yes, I had that happen to me many times, no matter how many times I wash that person's dishes. Because if I go to the kitchen and I'm going to wash one of my dishes or one of my cups and there are other dishes there, I just run a sink full of water and wash them all. Or the person who will take a dirty cup that they've drank milk in, per se, wrench it out and put it in the drainer. And swear to you up and down they used a hot a sink full of dishwasher to clean them. You could see the filth on them. It's disgusting. So anyway, that earring is killing me. So anyway, I know this is kind of off the wall, but you know what I decided when I did the 10 things you love to do but society thinks is wrong? I thought anytime I come up with something that amuses me, I'm going to ask you. Because, you know, sometimes on my channel, actually a lot of the time on my channel, I get into some heavy stuff, heavy topics, life, and you know what? I hate negativity. And you know what? I found myself on Epiclusa and being with a narcissist, that happy, bubbly, positive Tami, that Pisces that thrives on creativity and happiness and looking to the good, was drugged down into a pit of hell of negativity. And so anytime I can bring a smile to my own face, laughter in my own heart, I'm going to share with you. So if you get a moment and you have any pet peeves and you care to share, just put them down there in comments, okay? Because I would love to hear what you're like as a person. So anyway, we are having flash flood warnings out here. Sorry about the towel in my kitchen window, but if I didn't put it there, I would have this big halo behind my head like I was a saint. And we know that I am no saint. So anyway, I want to wish you all the best. I hope you have an awesome week. You're in my prayers and my thoughts. Peace and love.